You are listening to The Bad Boy Radio Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. This is that real shit, not that fake shit. The only radio show that's not afraid to tell you the truth about the game. This is The Bad Boy Radio Show. Remember, the truth is inside you.
Yo, what up, people? You have tuned into The Bad Boy Show with Mr. Locario and Miles Cunningham. Miles, what's going on, man?
Yeah, for y'all youngins, y'all might not know that's a reference to a hip hop artist named DMX. You might want to look him up.
Exactly.
This shit was dope. What's going on with you, Locario?
I'm chilling, bro. Making shit happen out here in these streets, getting it popping. You feel what I'm saying? So,
Word.
We gotta get it going, man. So today we're gonna be talking about, how most men cope with losing in the dating game. Okay, so it's gonna be a heavy show, man. Some feelings get hurt. Niggas is gonna get mad, but it is what it is, man. People gotta understand, man. Like, people gotta stop bitching and complaining, and it's like is what it is too. I think a lot of it is like when you was younger and you would throw a fit, and then you would hope that your fit would like make your parents do the thing you wanted them to do or something. You know what I'm saying? That's how niggas is nowadays. They on that bullshit. So but we gotta talk about that shit. But anyway, before we get into that, look, we're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna get into some news. All right, so you guys are listening to The Bad Boy Show. Yo, you still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the women you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.
Introducing Ital Roots Jamaican Roots Drink, a perfect blend of health-enriching tropical fruits and naturally powerful male libido-enhancing herbs. Voted best-tasting roots drink in the market and made from superior high-end holistic natural materials. The main ingredient in Ital Roots is Cheney root, a well-known tropical aphrodisiac discovered in Jamaica for men with low energy or low sex drive. It's very high in iron content. This makes it excellent for cleansing and building up the blood cells wherever your body needs it. Buy on Amazon.com or JuiceForLifePlus.com. That's Juice, the number 4, Life, PLUS.com.
All right, people, we are back on The Bad Boy Show. And remember, guys, make sure you go to patreon.com/The Confidence Show. That's our other show. We talk about confidence, success, happiness, business, and every other thing in life. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you guys check out The Confidence Show, all right? So what happens is that they'll do things like try to rationalize why they don't want to bother dealing with women because because I hear this all the time where guys will say, you know what, I'm not even gonna like deal with chicks anymore. I'm just gonna focus on this or focus on that. I'm gonna, I'm just focusing on my purpose and all this other stuff. Now, let's talk about this purpose shit real quick, because this should be pissing me off because because when we talking about being on your purpose, right? The whole thing about being on your purpose is about you. It really doesn't really have anything to do with women. We're just saying that as a byproduct of you being on your purpose, right? That could help out when it comes to you dealing with women, because now you have some structure to fit a woman into. And on top of that, because you are on your purpose, you're a more attractive guy in general, because you're about what you're about, which gives you that excitement and passion in your life to be doing what you do, which makes you more attractive. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of guys, what they'll do is, because they're not getting girls, they'll use the whole being on your purpose thing as like a way to rationalize why they're not even dealing with women, period. They were like, well, I ain't got time for these women because I'm on my purpose, or I ain't got time for these women because I'm trying to get money. I ain't got time. And it's like, it's not that you don't got time for them, right? Because let's say even if you didn't have time with them, that's not for them. That's not the issue. The issue is that a lot of guys, they don't know how to get girls or they're having trouble getting girls. So instead of just saying, listen, I want to fuck some bad chicks, but I just, I'm having trouble with the shit, they'll just say, well, I ain't got time for these bitches because they suck, because that feels better than actually looking at the real problem. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And the real problem is that they want women just like any other guy. They want to have sex just like any other guy. But when it comes to it, because it's so much, trouble for them, or it's like, oh, I got to put in all this work, or, oh, these women only want this one type of guy, then it's like, well, I'm just going to focus on this other stuff and I'm going to cope that way. You understand? And this is what a lot of dudes online do, is that they cope with, not being able to get what they want out of the game. So then they have a bunch of things that they gravitate to. So for the, dudes will be in the looks, money, status crowd, right? And they'll say, well, girls only want looks, money, and status. So if a guy thinks he's not good looking, he'll be like, well, see, that's why I'm having trouble. You feel what I'm saying? Or he doesn't have enough money. He'll say, well, because I don't have money, that's why the girls don't want to get with me. Or because I'm not a high status guy, that's why I can't get the girls. You see what I'm saying? And so if they have that, then they always have an excuse. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing as if someone's trying to, make it in life, or trying to, they want to achieve their goals or become rich or whatever it is, or own their business. If they're having trouble, they'll always find an excuse as to why they can't achieve the goal. You feel what I'm saying? And It's really because there's something that they're doing wrong, or there's something that they're not really doing that's making them not achieve that goal. And the same thing happens when it comes to the dating game. If you're not getting the girls you want, if you're not making shit happen, if shit is like, always like this super tough thing, it's not that, oh, you're just destined to be alone and that no girls like you and all this other shit. What it is that the thing is that you're not doing the things that's going to help you get from point A to point B. And then once you realize that, okay, I got to do these certain things to make it happen, then you'll actually make it happen. And see, the thing is this, no one's saying this shit is going to be super easy for you. No one's saying that, and I think that's the issue with a lot of these guys, is that they think that, for example, a guy might think he's below average looking and then thinks that, well, this other good looking guy, he doesn't have to work as hard as me to get a girl, right? Now, let's say in certain situations that could be true, right? Let's say you have this really good looking guy and certain girls think he's cute, and then therefore he is able to get this girl quicker, or get a girl quicker to want to fuck with him than you do, right? But to that I say, so fucking what? You feel what I'm saying? So fucking what? You understand? Because that's like me saying, well, this is bullshit because, this other guy right here who's on YouTube, or who owns this business, he had an easier time, getting a lot of subscribers, or he had an easier time getting people to buy his product. And I had to work 3 times as hard as him. It's like, so what, nigga? That's the reality of the situation. You might have had to work more than the other person. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, that's just reality. That happens in any other facet of life. You see what I mean? But when it comes to the dating game, it's like dudes have this entitled sort of thought process where they feel like, oh, well, I should be getting this like this, and it's not fair that this other guy got this way, and this happened for him. And I'm like, bro, you focusing on the wrong shit. Focus on what you need to do for you. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
That's exactly all you got to do. Focus on what you need to do for you. But see, a lot of these dudes, what they do is then this is why they say, oh, the dating game is rigged, because they'll be like, oh, but for this other guy, it was easier. It's like, and? You feel what I'm saying? So fucking what? You know what I mean? Like, if you, look, you got people like, let's say, for example, you have a person like Paris Hilton who was born into money. You feel what I'm saying? You might want to get rich, but guess what? It was easier for her to be rich because she was born into the shit, right? But just because she was born into the shit, are you going to sit there and bitch and moan and complain and be like, oh, this shit is rigged because she got, you know what I'm saying? But then you got another nigga like 50 Cent who came from the streets, who was broke and all this other shit, but he's made it to the point where he's filthy rich, right? So he's not sitting there bitching and moaning because some other guy or some other person had it easier than him. He's like, yo, I'm going to go out there and get mine. And that's the same thing you got to do with this dating game. It's like, go out there and get yours. Stop fucking worrying about, oh, well, this guy got it because he looks good, or this guy got it because he had the money, or this. You understand what I'm saying? That's not doing nothing for you. You know what I mean? And all it does is that it gets you in a position to where you justify your failure. You feel what I'm saying? That's right. It. You're just justifying your failure.
Here's the problem with the coping mechanism. A coping mechanism, since it doesn't actually solve the problem, over time, the actual problem can become more and more serious.
Exactly. Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? So, that's the perfect case. Like Elliot Rodgers, like his major issue wasn't poverty or health or being deformed and having horrible looks, or probably not even like social skills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because from what I know, the guys that knew him thought he was a cool dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I like the couple of videos that he did. He actually he looked like he spoke well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he seemed to have a certain amount of confidence when he was speaking on camera and things like that. Like I mean, even just speaking on camera, like that in itself takes a lot of confidence to be willing to put your face out there,
right?
And talk to people on the internet and put your face and all that type of shit. So I mean, it's really about perspective. But again, back to the point, it was really about like what you said. Like there was some type of mental issue, and there was a lot having to do with the fact that maybe he doesn't there was some type of love that he didn't have for himself,
right?
That he was, or some type of validation that he couldn't seem to get from inside or from any other type of source, and he thought that the source of that validation lied with women. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And that in itself, before we even get into what actually was Elliot Rodgers' mental problem, if he did have a mental problem, because we're just discussing possibilities here. But before we even get into that, any belief of validation having to do with something other than yourself, that's an issue in it. That is an issue in itself. You understand what I'm saying? That is an issue in itself. Not because you really have to validate yourself. You really have to understand something about yourself before you can let somebody else tell you something about yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Like all these people jumping for joy that they want a fucking Oscar. That shit is it's not really it doesn't really show mental health.
Right.
Right. Because if you really look at it, it's like, yo, you got inspired to do something. You got inspired to create some type of art with the passion and energy and inspiration that's inside yourself, right?
Right.
You put your name on the project and you publish the project and you put it out, right? A lot of people don't understand subconsciously that is the validation. You actually doing the thing is the validation because once like think about it, when you're trying to make a decision and you're like, should I do this or should I not? And you're like, nah, that's not a good idea. You don't do it.
Right.
Right? But then there's things that, should I do this thing? You're like, yeah, that would be a good idea. Let's do that. That's all the validation that you really need in the world. Just making the choice to do that thing. And if you think about something like a movie or writing a book or anything like that, it takes weeks, days, months of you pouring out your energy, your passion to make something happen. So in essence, the validation and the manifestation of that thing is one and the same.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. Facts. Real
it's
shit.
one and the same. So me worrying about getting an Oscar or worrying about a woman, for example, you think it's about how could you be confident if a woman don't tell you you look good.
Right.
It's like, yo, I made the choice to shower, get dressed, put on this particular cologne, put on this particular shirt, put on this particular hat. You understand? every choice that I made before I left my house is a validation of what I want for me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's where the validation is. It begins right there. When you make the choice, you open up your closet and you say, what shirt should I wear tonight? And you pick that shirt and put it on. That is the validation. Mm-hmm. You don't need anything else after that. But that's what happens with the coping mechanism. Right. It's like we don't understand how deep our own validation, how powerful our own validation is, and then we put it in the hands of something else. And like you said, you're driven by ego, right? And it causes you to move more and more to looking for that external source,
right?
To the point of for lack of a better word, insanity. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
To the point where I'm instead of like deciding whether I want to change my situation or not, I'd rather just sit there and call myself an incel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Instead of making the decision to truly understand female nature, so I can engage it and have it work for me.
Right.
I choose to just call myself a MGTOW.
Right.
And just discuss female nature all the time.
Right.
And act with my coping mechanism. I act as if I understand it, but I don't truly understand it because I'm not engaging with it, and I haven't figured out how to have it work for me. So, have I truly understood it? No. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? but I'm using MGTOW as a coping mechanism to deal with the frustration of not truly understanding female nature. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what's really happening.